Good afternoon, students. How are you today? Alright, this is Auntie Sarah. You are welcome to today's class. So in this class, we are going to do a revision on what a recap on mensuration. We already know that, but we are going to do a revision on that. So mensuration, we have to talk of plane shapes and the solid shapes. So we start with the plane shapes. So we talk of the perimeter and area of plane shapes. Now we know the perimeter of a plane shape, we know is the distance round the edge of the shape. So the distance around the edge of any shape is called the perimeter. So we can find this perimeter of any shape with what? Measurement or by calculations. So it's either you measure with a meter rule or whatever you have, or you find the perimeter by calculations. So we are going to give some examples. We are going to give you formulas that we can use in calculating perimeters. Alright, the next is area. Area is the amount of space covered by a plane shape. Area is the amount of what? Space that is covered by a plane shape. Now, for area, we have common units of areas to be millimeter squared, centimeter squared, meter squared, etc. Now, let's look at some of the plane shapes we have. The first one we have is a square. We know that a square has all sides equal. So because all the sides of a square are equal, the perimeter of a square will be adding up the length of all the sides. And it has four sides. So the perimeter will be adding up the four sides, which is length plus length plus length plus length, which gives us four lengths. What about the area? Area of a square is what? The length times the length. Length times length, because it's the amount of what? Space that is covered by this shape. So which gives us L squared. Now for rectangle, we have rectangle. In a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Yes, so the perimeter will be adding the four sides together, which will be length plus breadth plus length plus breadth, which will give us 2 times length plus breadth. So the perimeter of the rectangle is this. Now what about the area? The area will be the length times breadth. Now the next is the triangle. The triangle. The triangle. This is a triangle. So I labeled it A, B, C. So with the small letters to show the sides of the triangle. Alright, so the perimeter of the triangle, of course, will be the sum of all the sides, which will be A plus B plus C, which we have here. Now, what is the area of a triangle? Of course, we know the formula to be half base times height. Alright, this is the base. We label the base B. So it will be 1/2 half times B times the height. This is the perpendicular height. That will give us the area, right? Or there's another formula we can use to do that. And that formula is when you are given an angle here, this is an included angle between these two sides. So these two sides, if you are given two sides and an included angle here, the area of the triangle can be calculated using 1/2 times the product of these two sides, which is B times C, then times sine A, where sine A is the included angle between these two given sides. So this is the formula that we can use to find the perimeter and area of this shape. Alright. Alright, the next is the trapezium. So we recall that a trapezium is a quadrilateral that has a pair of opposite sides parallel. Now this is it here. So you can see the perpendicular height here, drawn from here to here. Now I label the sides A, B, N, and N. So the perimeter of the trapezium will be the sum of the four sides, which is A plus N plus B plus N. Alright, what about the area? The area will be half times the sum of the two parallel sides times H, where H is what? The height of the trapezium, and AB are the two parallel sides. A and B are the two parallel sides, then H is the height of the trapezium. So we have the rhombus. This is the rhombus. Remember, a rhombus, all the four sides are equal. It has the features of a square. Some of the features are same with a square. Alright. Now the perimeter of a rhombus will be what? Adding the four sides together, which is 4L, just the same as what? The perimeter of a square. Now the area will be length times h. Length times h, where L is the length of the side and h is the height. This is the perpendicular height here. So multiplying the length and the height gives us the area of the rhombus. Or we can use L squared sine x. L squared sine x, where x is the angle, this angle here. So where x is the sine of this angle. Okay, so that is it. Now we have the parallelogram. So parallelogram we know is a polylateral with what? Opposite sides parallel. Now perimeter, since opposite sides are parallel, we have here to be the length and here to be the width. So it's similar, it's kind of, it has some of the features is same as that of a rectangle. Now the perimeter will be 2 bracket length plus width. The sum of the two sides times 2. So area will be length times height, or L length times W sine x. Length, that is the product of these two sides times sine of this angle here. So that is it. So we will be making use of those formulas in solving problems. Alright, the next is the circle. So we know in a circle, the center of the circle is here, O, while the distance from the center to the circumference to this edge here is what? R, which is the radius. Now, and we know that diameter, we know that if you are given diameter, you know that radius will be half of diameter, diameter divided by 2, right? Alright, so perimeter of a circle is the same thing as the circumference of a circle. So circumference of the circle is this that we are seeing here, the edge here. Now the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, or you can use pi d, whichever one you like, where r is the radius and d is the diameter. Now the area, also the area of the circle is calculated using pi r squared. Pi r squared is the formula for calculating the area of a circle. Now let's solve let's solve one example. Now the first example, it says the area of a piece of land. The area of a piece of land is 50 centimeter squared. Find the value of x if the length and breadth are given as this and this respectively. So we are given the length and breadth. The length is x plus 2 cm and the breadth is x minus 3 cm. Recall that area, because we are talking of the area of a piece of land, and a piece of land has a rectangular shape. So because we are given the length and breadth, so we are talking of the area of rectangle. And recall that the area of rectangle is length times breadth, right? Now we are given the area to be 50 centimeters squared. So what do? We substitute it. So we substitute 50 centimeters squared equal to, what is the length? This is the length, x plus 2 cm times the breadth, x minus 3 cm, right? So this would be 50. Of course, this cm will cancel out. When you multiply cm times cm, it will cancel out with this. So we have 50 will be equal to x plus 2 bracket x minus 3. So we open the bracket and find the value of x. So 50 will be equal to, when you open the bracket, you have x into x minus 3 plus 2 into x minus 3. So let's open the bracket. So we have 50 will be equal to, when you open the bracket, you have x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. So this will be 50 will be x squared. This will give us minus x minus 6. So of course we collect the like terms. So have x squared minus 0 will be equal to x squared minus x minus 6 minus 50. So this will be x squared minus x minus 56 will be equal to 0. So we factorize. Now what will be the factors? What are the factors of my negative 56 that when you add you get negative 1? I think it is what? 8 and 7, right? 8 and 7, because this is negative, 8 will be negative, we'll have negative 8. So we'll have x squared minus 8x plus 7x minus 56 is 0. So when you factor out, you have x into x minus 8 plus 7 into x minus 8 equal to 0. So factor out these two. You have x minus 8 into x plus 7 equal to 0. So what do we do? This means either x minus 8 is 0 or x plus 7 is 0. So here x will be 8 or x will be negative 7. Now if x is negative 7, what happens? Remember we are talking of length and breadth. So length or breadth can never be negative, right? It can be negative. So we ignore the negative one and take what? The positive value. So we say ignore negative 7 since length can't be negative. So if this happens, it means that the value of x we are looking for is 8. Thus, we have that x is equal to 8. So the value of x we are asked to find is equal to 8. Now with this, you can solve any problems in area or perimeter of a plane shape. You can solve any problem. Alright, so we'll solve another one. Alright, so we have another example. Okay, we say that the figure below shows a piece of land in the form of a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. AB is 600 meters, BC is 680 meters, angle ADC is this angle here, is a right angle, 90 degrees. And angle BCD, this one here, is 65 degrees. Now the question says calculate to 3 significant figures. I, the area of the land. I, the perimeter of the land. Then B, if AC is a straight road across the land, find AC to 1 decimal place. Alright, now let's solve. What do? We have to draw this diagram again. So we have to draw this diagram again. So this is A, B, C, D, right? Here is 65 degrees. Okay, so this is 600 meters. So we are asked to find the perimeter. Now, in order to find the perimeter of this trapezium, we need to know the size of all the 4 sides. The size of all the 4 sides. But we have just 2 sides given. We are not giving DC, the length of DC, and we are not giving the length of AD. So we need to find it. Now, what do? Now we draw a perpendicular line from B meeting DC at. So let me draw a perpendicular line that meets DC at what? I'll call it E. So this B, from B to E becomes the height of the trapezium. So because we are given a right angle triangle, this is also right angle triangle. This is right angle here. Now this triangle will give us a right angle triangle. Now using a right angle triangle, we can find the value of h here, and we can find the value of EC. So this height here becomes the opposite of angle 65 degrees. So also note that BE and AD will be of equal length. So if you're able to get the height of the trapezium, it will be equal to AD as well. Alright, so now we are using trig ratios. So what do? We say we are using sine, right? So we have sine 65 degrees will give us, sine is opposite. Our opposite is BE, which is H now. H over hypotenuse is 680. So cross and multiply, you have that H will be 680 times sine 65 degrees. So what is sine 65 degrees? Sine 65 degrees will give us, when you multiply with sine 65 degrees, what do we have? We have 616. So what is sine 65? We have 616 point what? I think it's 0.289, yeah, 0.289 meters, right? So which one I approximate to 3 significant figure will give me 616 meters. So that means that, therefore, this means that H is the same thing as BE, which is also the same thing as AD, and that will give us 616 meters. So we have gotten the length of AD. Now, the next thing is we need to find the length of DC. We are not giving the length of DC, but we are giving AB. So if this perpendicular line we draw here, we have to find the length from E to C. If we find the length from E to C, the whole length from DC becomes AE plus EC, where AE and AB are the same, are equal. So AE will be equal to AB, which is 600 meters. So if we're able to find EC, whatever we get here, we add it to 600. It gives us this total length, D to C. So how do we find EC? We are making use of cosine. So we have cos 65 degrees will be cosine is added EC now. EC over 680. So EC gives us 680 times cos 65 degrees. So when you multiply, what is it going to give us? It will give us 287.38. 287.38 meters. When we approximate it to 3 significant figure, it gives us 287 meters. So that is the length. That is the length EC. Alright, now we have gotten EC to be 287 meters. But DC will give us DE plus EC. And DE is the same thing as AB, which is 600 meters. Therefore, DC will be, substituting it here, we have 600 meters plus EC, and our EC is 287 meters. This gives us what? 887 meters. So we have gotten the 4 sides we need. Now let's answer the first A question. I says we should find the perimeter. Okay, we have to find the area first. We find the area first. So area of a trapezium will be half times A plus B times height, right? Now what is A? We have A, then what is B? B is DC, which is this. So this will be 1/2 into A is 600 plus 887 times height. Our height is the same thing as 616. All will give us meter squared. So this will be 1 over 2 into, when you add this, you have 7, 8, then times 616 meters squared. So when you multiply, what will it give you? When you multiply, it's going to give us 457,996 meters squared, right? That's what it will give us. But recall, we are asked to approximate, keep our answer to three significant figures. So we have what? Three significant figures will give us 458,000 meters squared. 458,000 meters squared. Alright, so we are done. We have found the area to be this. The next, we are asked to find the perimeter of the trapezium. Now recall that perimeter of a trapezium is the sum of all the four sides, A plus B plus C plus D. Now the sum of all the four sides, we have gotten them. We have 600 meters plus 680 meters plus DC. DC gave us 887 meters, then plus AD. Recall that AD gave us 616 meters. So what will be the sum of all this? The sum, when you sum up of that, it will give you 2,783. 2,783 meters. That will be the perimeter. But always recall that you are asked to approximate to three significant figures. So this means that in three significant figures, we are going to have 2,780 meters. So this is the perimeter of the trapezium. That's the perimeter of the trapezium. Alright. Okay. The last question, it says, if AC is a straight road across the land, AC, this is A, this is C. So let me use a dotted line. If AC is a straight road across the land, it says we should find AC to one decimal place. So if I'm to cut out this part, it will give me a right angle triangle. This is A, D, and C. Recall, we've already gotten here to be 616 meters, and this quantity gave us 887 meters. So we are looking for AC. So observe that AC is the same as the hypotenuse. So meaning we are using Pythagoras rule. So using Pythagoras rule, so which states that AC squared will be AD squared plus DC squared. So this will be 616 squared plus 887 squared. So when you square them, when you sum them and square them, it will give you 1166,225. Yes, which is 1,166,225. Okay, that is for AC squared. But what is AC? AC will be the square root of this quantity, 1,166,225. So when you take the square root, AC will give us 1,079.915 meters. It will give us 919, not 915. Alright, so but recall, it says we should give our answer to one decimal place. So this gives us that AC will be 1,079.1 meters to one decimal place. So this is our answer. Alright, thank you. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you to know more, to know how to solve more questions in this topic. Alright guys, thank you, and make sure you share this, alright? When after watching, make sure you share it to your fellow students. Alright, thank you for watching. We are going to meet next time. Bye.